Hi, people. This is Deborah. Hope you guys are having a great day today or have had a great day today. My day has been well. Let me read the disclaimer. All information provided on this channel is for educational purposes only, and this channel does not promote or encourage misuse of the information. I do research. I share only my experience in interaction with others. However, remember your thoughts and opinions are equally important in shaping our togetherness. I will use words not intended to offend people, but to describe my point of view and how I see things. Take what resonates with you and what does not resonate with you, put it on the shelf or throw it away. Uh, I guess I'll sit here and wait and see who's coming in. Ooh. Hey, lady, how you doing? You had me laughing. You had me laughing. Hey, Amon, how you doing? Kel had me laughing. She is so funny. You don't know how funny you are, Raquel. You just have me laughing, which is a good thing. So, how you guys doing this evening? We've been having some thunderstorms, quite a bit of thunderstorms here. Well, Mon, every time I don't see you here, I always miss you. So I know you be having things to do, but I must admit, I do miss you. And Raquel, I missed you yesterday. Well, actually, every time I get ready to do a video and you don't come on, I know you can't come on every time, Raquel, but I be missing you too. I want to also say thank you for being a great commentator. I appreciate it. Oh, raining and windy. Yeah, it's. I think that's been going on. Let me see. Texas here got hit pretty bad. I think Alabama got hit pretty bad. Quite a few states got hit pretty bad. Well, I'm glad you miss us. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah. I was oh, it's hot where you are. I'm sure. What is the temperature like, Amon, at your location? Is it dry heat? Because it's been, I'm in Georgia and it's been really dry here lately. Well, thank you, Miss Raquel. I'm glad you guys do. That's important. Oh, it's dry. Okay. I thought maybe it would have been dry there. It's I was laughing. I was laughing about the because sometimes when I tell people I be seeing water when I have migraine headaches, and they look at me like I'm lost my last mind. And it's funny because they really don't know. And you really can't, you beat yourself up trying to explain. Oh, you in Texas too? Okay. Raquel, you're not in the part of Texas that got them floods. Sometimes when they be showing stuff on TV, you don't know whether it's real or not. Because I saw that they say Texas got hit pretty bad. Oh, where you are, you need a strong. Oh, So somebody telling some stories because for the past 3 days, my son and I've been seeing videos that Texas got hit pretty bad. Was it Houston? Houston got hit, according to the news, and another location close to Houston got hit with thunderstorms. Now, what we saw, well, I don't watch the news, my son does. Ain't that some shit? Well, he's like his daddy. They believe in the news. I don't ever really watch the news because it's always negative stuff. Oh, Texas is near the Gulf. Okay. My son wanted to move to Texas. I'm just not trying to, when you get a certain age, you don't want to move too much. But I go if I got to go. Oh, you don't watch TV either, Mom? Yeah, it's nothing on it. You now that you know that there's two reasons for it. If they give you subliminal messages to keep your vibration low, and then if you go on there, you're gonna go on there. Once you know what they're doing, you're gonna go on there looking for whatever kind of messages, subliminal messages that they're giving people, and you reject it. I know I do. I see it and I reject it. Okay, Galveston. Okay, so they did get hit. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because I know my son and I saw it on. Well, he saw it on the news. They got the rear. I'm on Facebook, and on Facebook they have the rear that goes across the screen, and it shows that Houston got hit pretty bad. I think parts of China. I think it was parts of China got hit pretty bad. Yeah, I'm telling you, we're getting quite a bit of them, and they sporadically going across the whole America now, and they're getting hit pretty bad. Now it showed that I was watching one of the rear, and they were showing that Atlanta got hit pretty bad, and I said, I'm sitting right here in Atlanta, and Atlanta did not get hit. I had to laugh at that one because that was so funny. It was funny 'cause it was a lie. Yeah. So I just have a couple of things that I like to share. Well, actually, we'll just keep on talking till some more people come in. I don't want to get started on talking about it, and then some people come in and not get the beginning process of it. I got to learn how to use this YouTube the right way, because I haven't taken the time to really get into using YouTube properly. I just know how to come in and and go live, and I know how to add load videos, but I really need to get into the different things that it does. So I'm gonna try to do that this week coming up. Every time I say I'm gonna do that, then I wind up going off on something else. About the thing you saw, Miss Deborah, I see white things often, and I feel good about it. Okay, little white things like orbs. Are they like orbs? Like little white flashing things? Okay, those are called orbs. I did a video on that. Yeah, those are orbs. Yeah, sometimes they do get bigger. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised it's a giant, and the orb itself is just an indicator to let us know that they're in the room. I see them every day, and I remember when I was a teenager, I used to have these dreams, and these dreams were, well, they weren't really dreams because I was awake when I was having them. It was like a a big giant was walking in the earth, and I felt like a little ant compared to that big giant that was walking the earth. But yet I couldn't see the face. I could always see the full body going all the way up. But when you got to the face, I didn't see the face. And I used to see that all the time when I was a teenager. I used to see a lot of things when I was a teenager. And I used to be able to see straight through the skin of people, and I could see their darkness. I would literally, the shadow side of them, I would see their shadow side. We call it shadow side today, but I would see their shadow side. And I didn't know what the heck I was looking at. I had not a clue. And then as I got older, then those things started coming back to remembrance, and then they were clarified for me what I was seeing. And that's what's happening to me now, even today. Whenever I reminisce in something I saw or seen during that time period and didn't know what it was, it's being clarified for me, and I'm very grateful because I just think if we start remembering all at one time, I think that it would probably explode because of so much garbage we have obtained in the system, in the school system. We obtained so much garbage, and there's a scripture that says you can't put uh, new wine in the old skin. I think about that particular. You got to dig it away. You got to get rid of it first before you can put some newness in there. And that's how it feels with the mind. Uh, we got to change our way of thinking because that's what works. I want to get into this uh, a little bit, and that word. I want to get into it a little bit, but I want to wait till a couple of more people come in, if they come in. If not, I give it 10 minutes, and we get to talking about it. So otherwise, so how's your day going though? How's you guys' day going so far? I have to pay attention to this computer. For some reason, if I plug my charger up, it does something. I don't know what and I can't figure out, is it YouTube or is it my charger? But when it gets halfway down, I'll have to plug it back up. Oh, you just been chilling. Okay. It's been a beautiful time for me. Have you guys got into the spiritual bath yet? Have you gotten into it? Have you tried it? Have you tried thinking and to manifest things? Have you tried that? Hi, Jay. Nice to see you, Jay. Welcome in. Okay, you were watching the latest video. Yeah, I want to really get into this sale thing because a lot of people don't. I guess it's not that people are dumb or ignorant. I think just people get so busy and just don't pay attention to certain things. And in this time period, we have to pay attention to everything that's going on. Okay. There's a thing to it, Amon. You have to, it has to be a focus only. For it to manifest, it that has to be the only thing in your mind for it to manifest. And I have noticed too, if I think of something negative, it'll come to pass real quick. So Jay says, I've been working on healing some aspects of myself that I didn't know still needed healing. Ooh, child, don't talk about that. I was thinking about that this morning. I'm working on the items for your cleansing bath. Okay. Yeah, Jay. You found out some things. Let me tell you something. I had three children, right? And so when I was young, I used to roller skate. Well, I roller skate up until I was almost 40. And I used to roller skate, and my right leg, when I lifted up, it would shake. I didn't really pay attention to the immune system during that time period. I thought I was in tip top shape because I was playing softball, played baseball, I roller skate, I played volleyball, and I thought I was in tip top shape. Come to find out, the nervousness that I had then is in my three children. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me too, but I'm trying to wait till some more people come in. So Jay says it's amazing to me just when I think I'm done, there's more. My romantic relationship has shown me some things. Good. Yeah, I was pretty active. I kind of hate I let it go because that's something I shouldn't have let go. But if you're young, stay and active, stay active. Don't get slack off that because your body needs those muscles need those exercise. It really do. That's why when you see some women like in their 60s and in their 70s and they walking a lot and moving around, it's because them women been doing that all their life. They've been doing it all their life and they can do that kind of stuff. When you stop and you give 10 years or 15 years and don't do nothing, oh, that catches up with you and it hurts you. Yeah, skating was very good exercise for me. It was fun and good exercise. So Jay says I just started working on again. Rolled my ankle a few days ago. I'm in so much pain. Oh my goodness! I'm sorry you in that pain. I'm sorry you in pain. Um, I can't say that this is I'm experimenting with some things, with some herbs and stuff. I'm experimenting with them again. I had experiment with some before, it didn't do anything. And I think the reason why, because they was not the pure form of the herbs. I think that sometimes when I purchase uh, uh, herbs out of these stores, they mix with something, and they don't do what they say they're gonna do. And so, but I'm working with some herbs, and before I tell you that they work for me, I have to, before I tell you they work, they have to work for me first. Because sometimes though, if something worked for you, don't necessarily mean it's gonna work for somebody else. But I wish I could tell you something that you could use, Jay, that would help your ankle. Oh, have you tried a heating pad? Now I do know this. I have a heating pad on my bed just in case. I do know sometimes where there's pain on your body and you put a heating pad there. I do know sometimes it helps. Now that I do know. So if you have a heating pad, you can get one at CVS, or was it Walgreens? If you got a CVS or Walgreens, you can get one there, and they less than $30. Um, I keep me a heating pad because I was getting spasms like crazy, but now since I'm doing stretches, people. I wasn't able to do stretches uh, with the hemorrhoid removal. So I'm about to get, I just went back to the doctor for a checkup. So I'm about to get back into the stretches. And those stretches was helping my spasms, because I was getting spasms like crazy. And and so the stretches are helping them. Uh, I don't know. This just my theory. I can't get nobody to uh to talk with to find out what they think. Um, but I think that a lot of times when we have pains in our bodies, I think it has to do with the blood. It has to do with the stuff that we put in our body. It affects the blood. And if it's toxic that we put in our body, then it causes us pains in certain parts of our bodies. Um, that's my theory. I was listening to, what's his name? I think his name is Yaki. Yaki is a guy, you see him all over the YouTube. He said he's a millionaire now, and but that wasn't a big deal for me. What was a big deal for me, he said he was 5'6", and he weighed almost 300 pounds, and he had a heart attack. And what he did, I sent him uh, on Facebook. I sent him a inbox message asking him to give me the, because he gave it. He said he gave it to his mother. The video that I watched one of his videos, and he said he gave it to his mother, and it helped her. And so I inboxed him and asked him to give me the ingredients that he used for himself. And so he didn't inbox me back, but what he did do, he did a video, um, and he put in his video what he had used for when he had the heart attack, and and he lost all that weight, and I guess he's in good shape now. But he also have a garden, and he also eat well. And so when you got a garden and you're eating well, that's a good thing, you know. Because sometimes when if you don't have the right food, it's not going to replenish you the way it's supposed to. Jay says, I can't wait till I can start gardening. I know it, Jay. Ain't nothing like gardening, having organic vegetables and stuff. I was talking to the doctor because when did I went? Uh, I went on the 11th, and I was telling her from the 7th to the 7th, that was a whole month. When I had the surgery, I was just eating nothing but salads. And I told her, I said, I didn't lose not one damn inch of weight. And she asked me what was the dressing I used, and I told her ranch dressing. Usually I use vinegar, oil, and vinegar, but for some reason I was feeling some ranch because I used to couldn't eat ranch, but I was feeling ranch and I was eating the ranch, and but she said that's why I didn't lose no weight because ranch had a lot of calories in it. I was so mad because I thought I was about to lose some stuff because I wasn't feeling hungry. I was taking the medication that I had prescribed for me, and I looked it up, and it said that you can lose some weight, and it didn't happen. It's too hot for you to be gardening, even if I had a yard, which I don't. Oh, for real, girl. If I had me a garden, if I had me a yard, I would be out there gardening. I don't give a flip how hard it is. I'm telling you the truth. Because the thing that I got exposed to good food. If I had not gotten exposed to good food from a garden, my grandmother had a garden. And she used to make me go out there and pick whatever she wanted to cook that day. And she had fruit trees. And I'm telling you, if she didn't cook enough food in the stove for you to eat, you had them fruit trees out there in the yard. You climb up in, and I love the pecans. She had the pecans in the wintertime, and she had the plums, peaches, and pears in the summertime. So you couldn't stay hungry, And I used to climb them trees. The humidity must be pretty bad there in Texas, Raquel. I'm asking you. I don't know. I never been to Texas. I haven't been to Texas. I've been to New York, Virginia, Washington, North Carolina, South Carolina. Uh, I haven't been to too many places. I've driven through some places, but not to visit. Just driving through. Okay, people. We're gonna talk about this sale. Uh, okay, you already know the difference. I'm just gonna, I have to always go to my notes because I don't want to miss a point. Okay, so your sale, the CELL, is the living organism. It's also a unit of a battery. It's also a small room in prison. Those are the three meanings that is given. Okay. Now, when we look at the other cell, the SELL, that means to exchange goods uh, or service for money, or persuasion or persuading someone, or purchase something. And I put in there for myself a viewpoint, make it appealing or deserving. Now, Raquel says, when we were growing up, we had pecans, plums, peaches, trees, but not any anymore. Everything has changed. People have went on. Okay. Yeah. Now, looking at the two sales, I said to myself, why did they make, I guess they call them homonyms, when two words sound alike but have different meanings? And I found it to be interesting that they called those two words. And so I got cute. I looked it up. I wanted to see what the current different definition was saying about both words, sale and sale. Now, and I found out the the they said that the word cell, even though it's a living organism, it says that uh it does not, you can't talk to that living organism. Now that's a lie. I tell you why, because plants have the same type of organism that we have as humans. And a lot of people, you hear them talk about they have green thumbs. They have green thumbs. And they talk to these plants, which has the same organism that we have. So inside our bodies, whether we're listening to music, whether we're listening to people that have conversations, when you take it into your hearing or when you think it in your head, you're sending messages to your organisms in your body. So if it's negative, if you're saying something negative, speaking something negative, guess what? If you say something like, I'm tired, you automatically send a signal to your organisms and your cells, and guess what happens? You become tired. That's what happens with you. And a lot of people, I guess people so busy, they don't pay attention that they have living organ. You ever been sitting in a chair, and then all of a sudden it feel like something moving around in your legs or moving around in your thighs, or even your arms, your bigger part of your arm, seem like something is inside that movement. Those are your organ. Those are cells. And a lot of people don't pay attention because they busy. I'm gonna always say people be busy. They be tired. But you have to pay attention when you're communicating or when you're thinking, because you're sending signals to your body to do something, to walk, or to just be tired, or just whatever. It could be positive or negative. You're talking to yourselves, and that's what you're doing. And I was just asking the question about the sales, and if you're speaking negative, uh, you can cause your own body to be sick. You know what I'm saying? Because they're listening. Yeah, they're listening to you. And if you say I got a headache, no. If you say I'm gonna get a headache, and then all of a sudden you got a headache because you just you just told yourself, you just told your body that you want a headache. And so you cause yourself to, yeah, it's like a command. You're commanding, absolutely, Raquel. You're commanding yourselves to do something. But I just thought it was really funny when I asked that question to the internet. They lie and said that the cells don't do that, but yet they messed up because I know that plants do, and I know that we have cells just like plants. And so I know that they listen to they listen to sound, music. You ever pay attention to the trees? Trees are the same way. They dance to music and sound. And it's the same way with our body. We operate based off sound, vibration, frequency. That's how we operate. I jotted down a couple of other things that I wanted to kind of bring to your attention. Yeah, they lie. Uh, they said cells do not hear or act on voice, but can respond to other signals, influencing their behavior. Now, you know that's a lie. If anybody read that on the internet and believe that lie that they put out there, then I don't know what to say. Because your cells are always open to hearing you, and vibration. Even while you're listening to music, it's hearing that as well. Are cells L's like angels, angel? I mean, they're living organisms. People call uh, anything that's living inside your body, they call it devils, demons, or they got all kinds of names for it. You just have to know what you want to call it. Um, but when you look at the elements, they talk about four elements, but you really got five, which is your spirit, which is fire, which is air, which is water and earth. And you got the parasites in you because you got animal in you. There's ways to get rid of some. I don't know if you can get rid of all of them, but the professionals is not going to tell the complete truth about parasites. They know that the human body is made from animal, the physical part of it anyway. One thing I like to do is give myself a huge and compliment myself. That's very important. I do that when I get in the bathtub. I'll say something like, "Girl, you are funny," and "Girl, you so kind." Girl, you gonna know you gonna get down to them 120 pounds. You have to talk to yourself. And I always say, yeah, I've gotten older, but these legs and this body is gonna move real good still. You have to talk to yourself. Um, I think it was ringworm. Did your mother not give you ringworm, Raquel, when you were young? I think my mother gave us ringworm when we were young. Uh, I think it was, is it castor? I know now they use castor for hair and stuff now. And I don't know what they put in it, but it's supposedly coming from Jamaica. I have some, but and they said the castor causes your hair to grow, and I would use it in the spot that my hair was standing up at, and it didn't work for me. I think the pure, if you can get stuff pure, close to pure, because when we were growing up, probably Raquel, uh, that stuff was more pure than what it is today. You know, because I just remember that stuff tasting horrible, but it did what it's supposed to have to did. It did what my mother gave it to us for. Okay, I wanted to talk about, okay, also, I wanted to also put this in there. They're right about this. I actually pulled that up. The frequency um, of the woman's voice is between 165 and 255. I was shocked they had this on here. I was real shocked. So they're saying that there's a difference between the adult men and the adult women in frequency. And as you see that they give you the ranges there. Now I thought it was funny because the radio, I think it's eight, I think it's 835. No, that's not right. Wait a minute. I didn't it's 435 megahertz. And that's the number we want to have a frequency to, is the 435. That's what we want to focus on, because we, in order to be, for low entities to be less attracted to us, is that we have to operate in high frequency. Uh, and the only way you will be able to operate in high frequency, there are some things that you have to know about yourself. Because if you don't know it, you're not going to be able to raise the frequency. You have to know. Let's look at some of the things. The biggest thing is this word fear. There's all kinds of reasons why people have fear. I'm going to read off some off my notes. Uh, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to try to put it on this thing here. One of the thing is fear of public speaking. Some people will go to other people channel, but they're afraid to do public speaking by creating a video on their channel. They haven't gotten to that place yet. I'm only comfortable because I've been in the public speaking for a long time. I actually started when I was young. I used to teach classes at IBM, and so at a young age, because I worked there at a young age, and so I've always. But the first time that I did it, I was not comfortable, and but the more I did it, the more comfortable I got. Um, and then this other thing here, I'm gonna try to put them on here as I talk about them, and you guys can determine. The next one is fear of failure, concern about not meeting expectations or not succeeding in personal or professional endeavors can be overwhelming, and they are. you set this goal for yourself, and you don't, you're looking at the goal, and you set a time, set this goal, and you set a time for it, and then as it gets closer, you get more and more of you get real overwhelmed, and you know and then this is another thing, and I didn't know, I have a problem with this. We have a place here called Six Flags, and they have like roller coasters and all that, and then they have a lot of other rides that's way up in the air. I'm not comfortable in that. Um, I've gotten on there with my grandson that one time, but I didn't like it because I didn't like what it made me feel inside. But a lot of people have uneasiness and scared when looking down when they up high. It's really weird because I didn't have a when I first got on the airplane. I didn't have that problem when I got on the airplane. I was looking at everything when I was on the airplane, but that's so weird. But I had fear of the rides. Um, let's see here. And some people probably get this. I hopefully I can get the whole thing on here. Oh, I did. Okay, post traumatic stress, which is PTSD. SD. A lot of people get that. Uh, when you see people that's been in the army, uh, they generally are the ones that get this. Um, Also, if you've been abused real bad, you get that, or if you was in some type of it could be abuse, it could be a molestation, it could be, oh man, it could be, you may have had job after job after job after job of and got fired, and you can get that from that. A lot of people didn't know that. It's just so many things. Okay, and then let's see here. Oops, went too fast. Okay. Now I know a lot of guys probably get that. Well, I don't know about this generation, but I know back in our generation, you know how some guys would be afraid to go up and ask the girl, "Can you take her out?" and stuff like that. Remember them days? Yeah, Raquel, you probably remember that, but the young people wouldn't remember. Fear rejection. The fear often stems from past experiences, rejections, abandonment, leading to apprehension about forming new relationship. You've had bad experiences, relationship with people, whether it be friendship, whether it be relationship between man and woman, and then you're scared to you. The fear is I don't want to be hurt no more, so I'm just going to stay away from that, and that happens. It happens with friendship as well. Um, I had to really struggle with the friendship one because I had to really talk to myself and tell myself, Deborah, everybody ain't alike. Everybody ain't like that bad experience you had. So you got to keep yourself open up. And I had to tell myself the same thing with a man. Um, you know and so I opened myself up to men, and I had conversations with them, and we just wasn't compatible. I'm not interested in trying to train nobody. I'm not interested in trying to be a mother to nobody. I just wanted the guy to be a mature person, and because that didn't happen for me, I'm good. But I do enjoy the fact of seeing others have those moments. Do I feel like I've gotten too old for that? No, I don't. But at the same time, I'm not looking. Uh, so Amon says, I only tried those rides once and I screamed my lungs out. Never tried that again. Yeah, but we used to fly. Every time I would close my eyes, I would fly. But it was really weird because I was afraid of height. Okay, so Broglie, I didn't date that back then either, and am not being asked to dating as of yet in this day and time. Well, it depends on how you feeling about that. Are you lonely and you want somebody, or you okay with being by yourself? See, I'm okay with being by myself. I'm good, and I'm not by myself because I'm afraid of because I have said to guys we're not compatible, because you have to be compatible with me in my age now. When you're young, you lied to and said opposite will attract and has attracted, but opposite was not good because you pulling and they pulling too. You're pulling and they pulling too, and it just don't work out. So fear death, anxiety about one's mortality of the process of dying. You actually have some people that literally spend their time thinking about dying and are afraid of dying. One of the things that happens to people, well, some people, like for me, I'm not afraid of the physical body leaving here. I'm fine with it because I know that it is the physical body, as far as I know right now, is not designed to stay forever because it's animal. The physical body is made of animals and it has a certain period of time that it can only survive. And I think it was 120. My grandmother, grandfather's mother, she lived to be 120. I remember her when I was a child. I think I was about 8 or 9 years old. I remember seeing her. She was a little woman, and she wasn't scaly looking, like she was a skeleton. She didn't look that way. She looked it good. She was a thin woman, and she had her senses, and they took me in there to speak to her, and I just thought that was amazing as a child. 120 years old, but it could be last longer. But I just know the human body is made of animal, and animal stinks. Compatibility is a must because I am on my spiritual journey. Hopefully, one day we'll meet someone compatible. Hopefully for you, I do too. I hope you meet someone that will be compatible. It's nothing like having someone being compatible. I always tell women, you want a good man, you got to be a good woman. You can't ask for a good man and you ain't no good woman. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you a good woman because you're gonna draw what you are. And the thing that people can't do, you can't take away, or no, you can't hide what's inside. You can hide the physical body part and with clothes and stuff, but that energy, you can't hide that energy. People gonna feel that energy. Yeah, everybody wants a good person. So the next thing is fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown. Okay, I'll talk a little bit about this fear of unknown. General apprehension about uncertain, unfamiliar situations can cause anxieties about the future or a new experience. Okay, let's just say you've been on your job for 10 years and somebody and one of your superiors come to you and say, Deborah, I need you to go and cross train on this job. Immediately I got fear in me because number one, I don't want to do it. And number two, I may not be able to do it. I may not be able to learn how to do it. So that's a fear of the unknown. You know, um, there's so many fears of unknown. Another example, we've been taught in a book that Jesus is the savior of the earth, and we were taught that. And so the fear of the unknown is that can't be a lie. That got to be the truth. So now people are afraid of coming out of their comfort zone. That's a comfort zone because they either taught themselves that Jesus is the savior of the world, or someone else taught them that Jesus is the savior of the world. And in the back of the book, it tells you that if you take from it and that, this and that, then something is going to happen. And so people was uh, either taught themselves in fear, or they let others taught them in fear, not to believe in anything else. So they are afraid of the unknown. But if you were the one of the ones that got they in my mother's neighborhood back then, they brought encyclopedians, and they brought this rug like thing that had a picture of this pale Jesus. He was pale, with called the 12 disciples. They were pale, and this big old yellow thing behind it. It looked like the sun behind it, and that's what was taught in my family, uh, who Jesus was, and so I was never afraid of going beyond. I just wanted to know for myself. Everything that I did, I went for my. Nobody taught me anything. I've always taught even when the preacher was preaching, talking whatever he was talking, and I'm looking at the book the same time that he preaching, and the book wasn't saying the same thing that he was talking out his mouth. So I used to sit up there and say, that's not what this book is saying. That's not what this book is saying. And it was funny. But we have these fears of the unknown. Um, the other thing that you have a fear of, because you've been taught outside of yourself, you're thinking what's being said to you. I give you, for instance, your spirit tells you you've been on a job for 10 years and you're living in Texas, but I want you, all of a sudden you get a whisper in your head, I want you need to move to Atlanta. And you've been on that job for 10 years and you're making decent money and you live in a nice place. So you don't listen to yourself. Number one, because you've been taught not to listen to yourself. And number two, logically, the physical thinker, the physical thought of you, only look at what it sees. It only pay attention to what it sees. If I can't see it, then it ain't true. So, and that's what happens with the logical thinker of yourself. So when your mind get to telling you, okay, quit your job that you've been on for 10 years and you paying decent money and you live in a nice place, uh, you're gonna automatically decline that because it's not logical. And a lot of us do it, because it don't make sense. Your spiritual self will always tell you things that don't make sense. If it don't make sense, that's your spirit. But when you're taught to not listen to your spirit, which is everybody has been taught that just about, except for a few of us. I only felt that way because of my mother. My mother was the only person I really listened to. I ain't listening to nobody else. Any other adults? No, if my mama didn't say it, I'm not gonna do it. That's how I was. Okay. The other thing is the fear of animals. I just jot down a few things. I didn't jot down everything. Some people have fear of animals. I don't like Doberman pigeons. I don't like Rottweilers. I don't like pit bulls. Those are the three dogs that I don't care for because they're killer dogs. They eventually turn on you. I remember at some point there was we had the German Shepherd. The German Shepherd was a dog that looked like the wolf, and I do believe that they did gene splicing, and they made the German Shepherd from the wolf, and that's what you saw around for a long time. Snakes. If you mention snakes, we had snakes. When we used to go to my grandmama's house, we had snakes all the time in the yard, and people are afraid of snakes. You automatically are afraid of a snake. And had you sit down and thought about why am I afraid of such a little bitty thing? I would be afraid of the bear quicker than I would of the snake. Because if that bear get a hold of you, you gone. That thing weigh tons. Than the snake. You can get away from the snake unless it jump down from somewhere on you. But if it's on the ground, you can run from the snake. If that bear get a hold of you, you in trouble. The other thing is fear of natural disasters like earthquake, hurricanes, tornadoes, which can cause a lot of anxieties about natural events. People have been told that we're in the last days, and they will quote that the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, I think the 24th chapter, that they think is talking about the last days. They will quote that people start stocking up, putting canned goods in their house and just whatever they can think of, and I'm sure their house looked like a grocery store. And they started that back in 2013, I think. Was it 13? I think it was 2013 when they started saying we were in the year of Aquarius. I think it was 2013. But people start stocking up and they are afraid of disaster. People actually move from one state to the other, uh, moving away from disasters. Like me, I wouldn't go and move in Florida. I wouldn't move in no part of Florida. It's known that they have a disaster every year. Every year they know they have things coming in. I haven't seen the it was 2012. Okay, thank you, Iman. Uh, I haven't seen the YK 12. Okay, YK. Okay, gotcha. Okay, you talking about the same year? I think it was 2012. Like Amon said, is when they came up with that. Yeah, people were just loading up on things. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Some years ago, uh, probably almost 40 years ago, I had a surgery done. They removed some tissues between in my bottom, and I think they put like the guy put I know about 20 stitches in there, and I was asleep when he did it. But when I had to go back and that sucker pulled them stitches out, man, that was the most painful thing for me. That he's sitting there because they had dried up and stuck to the skin, and he was putting them things out. That shit hurt. So anyway, when I got ready to get the hemorrhoids removed, well, one hemorrhoid removed from me on the 7th of last month, I was uncomfortable. I was scared, and I was telling the doctor what happened and everything. Well, what happened was when I had it done and woke up, I was all drugged up, and then when I came home, and then they had gave me 12 pills, and I took those pills, and when I was through taking the pills, then the pain started. And I'm talking about I couldn't open my legs wide at all because of the stitches. And so I was just miserable for a second because it was hurting me, and I had to go to the bathroom because I was drinking a lot of water because I was taking medication. It was just too much. That was my fear. We have fear. You look at people's faces and all that, and you can't look at the stature of somebody's face and determine whether they have fear or not. Now, what you can do if they have, if you one that pay attention to the energy of people, you can tell what kind of energy they have. But you got to be in tune with these people for that energy. Then you got people. They ain't no sad to hear. I just went through that. I'm done with that now. The other thing that people have is fear of illnesses. People don't want to get sick. And people really freak out because they don't want to get. You got these people, they go years and years and years. And I've heard people say, I ain't never been sick. I'm 60 years old and I ain't never been sick. And then all of a sudden, they get sick. The legs, they start falling. I used to wonder why every time I would go to the doctor, they would ask me, have you failed? Did you fall in the shower? Did you fall in the bathroom? I'm like, why are they asking me that shit? I don't know nothing about them falling. Come to find out, I fell in the shower. I slipped and fell. And so I had to get that mat and put it in that bathtub. Well, I just thought that was funny because they ask you that. Okay. Fear of economics, instability, anxieties about financial security, and losing one's job. I talked about the losing the job earlier, and we all done been through that. People think that their jobs are secure. They're not. Nothing is secure down here. Absolutely nothing. We had heard a story that the banks was gonna close up, and they gonna close up with your money in the bank. And then there's some people that took their money out the bank and kept the money at home. I think it was 2012. It was all kinds of things. It was people was telling people to change their currency because the dollar, the fiat, they call the dollar the fiat, is going to lose its value. The fiat been lost its value because they don't have gold to back up the fiat. The dollar bill is what I'm talking about. So they said a whole lot of things, and you hear of people losing their jobs today. They actually committing suicide because these people have been on these jobs 20 and 30 years. If you look out there now, there are a lot of companies closing up, a lot of, and these people have been on these companies for years. you know okay, some people got fear of technology. It's not that they're dumb, they just afraid of technology. I know a lot of older people, they won't touch the technology. They don't like the telephone. They go and get themselves some flip phones, the phone that flip. Um, they go get those phones, and then when it's time to trade them in, they keep trying to hold on to them. They don't go and learn about the uh, computer. They're not interested in they're not interested in learning anything pertaining to the computer. They'll get the grandkids to fix it up for them. They won't learn it, but they'll get the grandkids to fix it up for them. They talk about brick is the new money. Yeah, they talking about it being shoot, what's that word? They talk about the new money being it's going to be technology, but it's not going to be money put in our head like the credit card. That's what they talk about it being, like the credit card. Now I talked about the earth being shaped like, yeah, cryptocurrency. Thank you. Yeah, that's what they're talking about now, cryptocurrency. I talked about in the video before this one. I talked about the dome, the earth shaped like a dome. And I know that because I went up in the plane. I don't know whether it was my spiritual self showing me that, but in my mind, everybody could see what I saw when I was up there. And probably they couldn't because it was the spiritual part of me that was showing me that. But when I was in the plane, I was taking pictures. I was taking pictures of everything, and not the plane itself, outside of the plane. And I literally could see a line going all the way around. I could see the circle, the whole damn circle, and I could see a line. It was like it was a split, a line all the way around. I don't ask me how could I see behind the plane or the side of the plane. I was able to see that for some reason, and I saw a line, a long line all the way around. And the earth itself, where the people are, is flat. But when you go up, it's like a round circle, and right above it is, because I was in one of them big planes, and right above it, it was like a magnetic field. I don't know why they tell people this electromagnetic. The further up you get, it becomes magnetic. But the earth itself is electric, and that's what I saw. Um, there's no such thing as other planets. When you talk to the them people that they lie about over in Africa, uh, they say those people. came from Sirius, which was a lie. Them people didn't know nothing about no damn Sirius. Um, and it is all in my mind. It's all a conversation that the patriarchals just don't want people to know that they came from the woman. They don't want. They don't want. They don't want the. And then they came up with that Big Bang shit. Big Bang had nothing to do with males. You wasn't there. If there was any Big Bang, the male wasn't there. You were down here. You were developed down here. Doggone, thank you. It was a doggone tribe. And oh, okay. So Brazil, Russia, China, currency for the US. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, they you know, it's all lies. And then one guy out there, he really talking about the Anunnakis. Anunnakis came up from stitching. If you go and do a research on stitching, um, Zachariah stitching, you will find out that he made that damn story up, and then some black man came along and helped him out with them lies. But the men are a degenerate female. That's who they are, and they can't change that. It is what it is. Yeah, I got you. It's the doggone tribes. It's they spell it like that, but it's okay. Thank you, I appreciate it. So, like I said earlier, we live. When you tell people this, because I've told quite a few people this, and they look at me like I'm crazy. Now, when I was young, I used to get upset when people used to call me crazy, but I don't feel that way now. And people has been calling me crazy forever and a day. But we live in vapor. It's nothing but invisible water. We live in it. You can feel it. You know, it's amazing to me the wind. Just when you get in the water, when you go swimming, you get in the water. The force of trying to swim, it's the same way with the wind blowing. You put your hand out there and it just blows you. The water and the swimming pool do the same thing. Same thing. You just have to pay attention to things. And that's one of the things that people don't do. They don't pay attention to, because they're just busy with other things on their mind. The other thing is that people they have fear of knowing that they're feminine and masculine. They're afraid of that. They don't want to accept, so they have went to such extremes to to come up with this alien story, which don't exist. There's no such thing as alien. The only thing up there is the mother, the great mother. The other thing that people are afraid of, and they try to say the sun did, the sun didn't do that. We are sun. We are sun. The parthenogenesis, birth without a male, it happened. Am I saying it's happening now? I don't think so. So Raquel says the hidden truth is everything came from the matrilineal DNA, which is, and it's funny, they tell you that they can only trace the bloodline through the woman. So what did that tell you? If they can only trace the bloodline through the woman and they can't trace it through the man, they're telling you something. You got to listen, because that's so important. And when they tell you Lucy was found in Africa, when they know Lucy was came from the cave here in the Grand Canyon, they know that. I see you have. You're funny. And that's and then the thing that the other thing that the males have a problem with, and some females have a problem with, because some females don't want to embrace their masculinity, because in their mind, masculinity has to do with my sex. You don't have to be with another female when you embrace your masculinity. Girl, stop. You need to think. I embrace my masculinity all the time. And then the other thing that I wanted to say too, the one I heard a guy say on his video that the women don't have a male organ. Let me tell you, if you're looking at my video, I'm gonna tell you straight out. I ain't gonna call your name because you are a big time person out there, and you think because you do have a wife. The clitoris is the penis. Okay, the clitoris is the penis. Okay, you have an elongated clitoris. That's what you have. So we do have male organs. Okay, that's what that is. And you got female organs. Your prostate is actually your womb, is our womb, rather. Okay, it's degenerate. You have everything that we have is just degenerate. Well, you don't. You have the clitoris is the elongated penis. So you have two holes in your bottom area. We have three. You know. So Iman says parthenogenesis still happens in some animals like snakes and no, no, no. I know that. I was talking about human beings. Parthenogenesis happens in was happening in the women. Don't know how long ago it was. They trying to say that there's still parthenogenesis to take place. Now it's funny. They can take an egg out of a woman and say that they freezing the egg, and then when it's come time for that woman to have her baby, when they put that egg back in that woman, who's to say that's her egg? Because they do a lot of experimenting, and if you think that they didn't do gene slicing, you're wrong. I tell people all the time they did gene slicing. They did it, and they still doing it. You don't know what's standing beside you. And then the other thing, this is another thing that young adults are afraid of, because I was one of them. They don't want to do the opposite of what their mother told them to do. They don't want to do the opposite. Um, if the mother tells them to go to school to be a nurse, they go to school to be a nurse, and they don't want to do it. So the young adult child is afraid to do what they want to do. I'm not saying disrespect the mother, but you really need to sit down. If you stay in her household, you really need to sit down and talk to her about what you want to major in when you go to college, because she needs to understand that. Now, if she's in her higher self, then she knows, because she's speaking it from a spiritual standpoint. Now, if she's not in her higher self, she don't know, because mothers don't know what is needed for her children unless she's in her higher self, and that's just the way it is. And this is another thing too that it kind of breaks my heart with women. This right here, and I see there are so many females out there that would not do go against what a male say in the household. She encourages him to be the head of the household, when he's not even capable of being the head of the household, because he don't know what she wants. He don't know what she need. He don't even know what the children need. How can he possibly be the head of the household? But that female will be afraid, and if he's an abuser to her, she takes the shit. If he's a molester to her children, their children, she takes the shit, and she's afraid. She's afraid of going against that male. You can't be a head of a household as a male unless you in your higher self. If you're not in your higher self, you can't do it. So hi Arian, how you doing? Because everyone was brainwashed on the Bible saying honor your mother and father. That's why not knowing what the truth is dangerous. It is. I agree. Glad to see you, Arian. Thanks for coming in. But I just that really bothers me with women, because they literally, and this came out the mouth, so I'm gonna say allegedly anyway, but allegedly they came out the DeBar's mouth. The mother DeBar, the singing group. That hurt me so bad to see the daddy did all the children that way. And I don't know, she didn't try to help, and then the Jackson, what's her name, Latoya, she said that happened to them, and the mother didn't do nothing about it. It's just sad that hi human, how you doing? It's just sad that the fear is really great in this earth with many things. I didn't realize I had so many fears myself. Because to look at me, you be like, shit, that woman ain't scared of nothing. But don't get it damn twisted. There are some things down here I am afraid of. Okay? Trust me. Yeah. Do I think we're in hell? Of course I do. You think about it. You really think about it. Let's talk about some things. Think about hell. And I said only a few times in this earth. Molestation. Who helped the molesting children? Who helped the raping children? Who helped the abuser to the children, to the mother? Who's helping people when this patriarchal system is robbing people? Came and took the people's land, came and took their resources and killing people. Who's helping us? You don't have to get reincarnated. That's why it's important to be enlightened about the things that's going on with you, because what's going on, we have been bombarded with all kinds of shit in school, which put a heavy burden on us to where we can't see stuff. So as we are shown what these things are that we need to see, then they get lifted from us, and the more they get lifted from us, the more we'll know what we need to be doing. And that's all of us. I tell you what, don't go to the light. Because if you go to the light, you're going to wind up your ass right back down here. I know that because I did it. Now, to this day, I don't know whether it was a near-death experience I had or I died. But I do know this. I was in that car and they cut me out of the car because I hit an 18-wheeler. And evidently the popo must have thought I was dead because he didn't give me a ticket. And they say in Atlanta, when you smelling like alcohol, and I'm sure I was because I was drinking a lot of it, and you come down to the hospital with the ticket on your bed. I didn't have one of those, but I did go into a coma. And I did see my relatives at this big ass. I thought it was the sun, but come to remember, it was a big ass moon, and the relatives was right there at it. It was real bright, and I looked over there at that tunnel. It was a long tunnel. I looked over there at that tunnel and saw nothing but darkness. My ass was scared. So what I did, I went on and turned the other way where the relatives were, and went back that way. And that's when I woke up, and right here. And I'm saying to you, don't go that way. You got to go to. You have to get up enough nerve so when you pass, you go where the damn darkness is. Cause I'm telling you where the light is. You're gonna wind up back here. So Aman says, I have fear of deep water. I don't know how to swim either. And human being says, I don't want to get reincarnated here again. You don't want to, you got to work on the things to keep that will cause you not to come back. Raquel says, I would like to know that answer to that question as well. Also, is hell the underworld? We are in the underworld. Don't let them tell you all them hate, which is Haiti. There's a bunch of names. I put a did I do I think I did it. No, that was I did that video some time ago and I took it down. I did a video on hell. We are in hell. They cute. They got real cute, and they say, oh, hell is a state of the mind. It is a state of the mind because you're creating things. But at the same time, is this a hell, a place of imprisonment? It is. It truly is. So would it be hell? It is hell and heaven. Hell is when you teach yourself the things that is here, and not turn your head when it's put in your face. And the more you do that, the more free you become, and more heaven minded you become, because it won't bother you as much. It'll bother you, but the reason why it won't bother you as much, because you know what the hell it is. Don't forget not to go to the light. Yeah, don't do that. Don't go to that light. Don't go to that light at all. Like I say, I don't know if I was dead. I know this. It wasn't time for me to um leave this earth, because I still had more stuff to learn. And see, here's the other thing that gets me. If you pass, all you do, and I do believe you go right up, your spirit goes right up there to that damn moon up there, because that's a satellite. I believe that people's spirits, souls are held right there in that damn moon. That's what I believe, until I know different. But that's where my head is right now. That all souls goes up there, and they wait to be put back down here in a body, because that was a spirit trying to take my body. And I wouldn't let it. And the only reason why I didn't let it, because I was aware of it. When you're not aware of this stuff, it could do all kinds of harm to you. Really, trust me, it could do all kinds of harm to you. But if you learn all you need to know while you're here, I do feel that you can escape this place. You can escape coming back to this place, because there wouldn't be no reason for you. But the thing of it is, though, if you get to a place of knowing what this is, and you pass and you go to the moon, because the moon is like a holding place for people's soul to wait to come back down here. Then they erase your memory. And then you come back down here and start all over again. So it has to be something that you have to do while you still aware of what's going on. I believe it's something you have to do while you're still aware. Because once the physical body pass, I think you go right back into uh, coming back, coming back, coming back. So it's something that needs to take place while you're still aware. Because it makes no damn sense for us to learn all the stuff, learn a lot of stuff, and then to pass, to go to the moon as a holding place, and then have to come back down here again, start all over again, without the remembrance of what we did learn. That's some bullshit to me. That is really some bullshit. Yeah, we reincarnate right back here. And that's why I know something has to take place before the soul leaves the body. Something needs to happen before the soul leaves the body. If you get this knowledge and get this knowledge and get this knowledge before that soul leaves that body, you getting the hell up out of this place should take place then. Because once that soul leaves that body, uh you, you know that you're gonna come right back down here again. So human says, Raquel, if we don't go to the light, where do we go? You go through the you go through the on where I'm gonna tell you, on the left side of me was a dark tunnel, and on the right side of me was the relatives and this big ass moon. And I went toward the moon and the relatives. So when I pass again, hopefully I know what I need to know, and I don't have that option no more. I can just go where I need to go. But if in fact I don't, I know I have to go through the dark tunnel. I asked this guy that said he had passed. He said he had passed, and I asked him. I said, and he said he had an experience, and I honestly think he was lying. And I normally don't refute people's experience, but I honestly think he was lying because he turned around and wanted to sell me some shit, and that pissed me off. I told him I wanted to talk about his experience, and he was talking about some selling me some shit. Some I'm telling him I don't eat meat, and he's trying to sell me some shit that's made out of that same stuff we buy at the grocery stores. And he just pissed me off. See, and I'm not the type of person that would dispute people's personal experience. But I asked him, I said, where did the dark tunnel lead to? And he told me hell. I don't believe that. I just don't. Oh yeah, that's your feelings of hating this realm, human. That's what you're supposed to feel. But at the same time, you hating this realm, that's how you supposed to feel, because we all do. We all do that don't want to come back here. Because we see things for what it is. And there's a lot of people have blinders on. They don't see this place for what it is. And a lot of them are the majority. They don't see what you see. And it's unfortunate, but they don't see what you see. You would be crazy, human. I would be crazy to them. Because they'll say this is not hell. They'll say hell is underground where the people are, the physical body is buried at, and that's not true. So human says it could be just a loose form. Maybe the souls are kept in the moon and is born through the sun, spiritually recreating in a body. like the born again. Uh, Thank you, Area. I didn't think about that. Didn't even think about that. That's a good thought. Let me reread this again. Area says maybe the souls are kept in the moon and is born through the sun spiritually, recreated in a body, like the born again thing. Mm, uh. Because this sun out here don't hesitate. As a matter of fact, it's got my room, it's, if you ever look at my bedroom window, it's always lit. And you actually can see movement in it. I'm surprised the whole room is not lit up now. I always wonder why that sun is always following me. It is like I could let my shades down. That moon tries to, that sun tries to come in. But at the same time, it hurts when I look straight into it, it looks like a pulsating eye. It looks like an eye. It looks like an eye. But then it makes sure every day, even when it rains, it'll come out and it'll do the same thing. So I know it's an entity of some sort, but it makes sure it gets my attention. So Raquel says human, Miss Deborah just said to go into the darkness. Raquel says, check out this clip. Janeway versus Archon, Star Trek Voyager on YouTube. This is what you might be referring to. Human beings said they love this realm. Yeah, the majority of them do. And mine says maybe we have to go get to the crown chakra and operate it in it fully. We become sons. I know this, Amon. I feel it's the only way we can get past the magnetic field. I feel your human work paying bills. This is what I know. Stars became sons. Okay? That's what I know. And I know that sun up there has to be some type of celestial or something. Um, but it's not giving me what I'm looking for from it. And then the moon will come out. The moon will come out, and it be right above my window, right along with them drones. What gets me, I saw the drones go through the sun. They actually went through the sun. The drones that be up there, they went through the sun. Something ain't right. I can't put my hand on it, but something ain't right. But I do know this, evidently, we must find the answer before the soul leaves its physical body. Because if we don't get the answer before the soul leaves its physical body, we're gonna go right back up there at that moon and reincarnate back down here. And I definitely don't want to come back down here. Anytime you see a bunch of people that's all right with homelessness, anytime you see a whole bunch of people is all right with seeing pain and hurt and all that craziness with people, something ain't right. But they call you crazy. Something ain't right, and they call you crazy. They tell you that you don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. And then they tell you you that you're schizophrenia. They don't realize, they tell these people that there are entities in the invisible, and they are. They are people that was once like you and me, but they invisible. And they are entities. That's what I call them. I call them entities. And as Dr. York calls them, he calls them disagreeables and agreeables. See, to me, agreeable and disagreeable is the uh, feminine is agreeable, and the disagreeable is the masculine. But then there are those that are invisible that are agreeable and disagreeable as well. And those are the ones that connect themselves to humans, and you find that they wind up going crazy, some people, because of them things. I'm not scared of them, but a lot of people are. When they talk about the 72 goatee, they really are none. You have them things as well, and you can command them things as well. But if you operate, there's a scripture in the Bible where it talks about two brothers, and it's just a metaphor. Two brothers, because it was not, they never existed, but the metaphor is true. The metaphor is a true thing. Uh, uh, the demon in said to Paul, which is a character that is mostly supposed to have written the New Testament, which never existed, but I believe they were Essenes. I believe they were a part of the Roman clan. Uh, but anyway, the demon said to this guy that was trying to cast demons out of somebody, said to him, Paul, I know, Jesus, I know, but who are you? And jumped on him. And you got people that are walking around here, call themselves casting demons out. When they Bible tells them lay hands suddenly on no man. And that is true. And then it also says, put not your trust in man. And I'm like, I don't know what Bible you people been reading to call yourselves Christian, because them two things are in there. Yeah, we're both going to go back into the crown, because I know that the crown are two things. It is a thorn. That was the crown symbolically Jesus wore around the head. When you wear the crown around your head, this is a person that rejects everything. When you are seeing it, when the truth is put before your face, you're rejecting it. So therefore, you wear the throne, the throne. You wear the crown of thorn. You wear the crown of thorn, which means you're going to be miserable. You're going to be unhappy. You're going to be sick. You're going to be all those things because you're wearing the crown of thorn. Okay. Now, the other person that has the crown, that crown is going to lift them. Why? Because they're able to see, and they are accepting what they see. See, when you don't accept what you see, I do know this, know that. When you accept what you see, that causes you to elevate. When you do not accept what you see, that causes you uh, to not elevate. And that's what the Jesus story on the cross represent. That's what that is. On the cross. Because what you're putting on the cross is actually the intellect. You got to get through the intellect. That's the thorn. but you got to see it. You if you can't see it, it's not going to go away. You got to get through all that stuff. But there's a way out of here, and I'm sure we put our heads together, we'll be able to come together to know what that is and how to get out of here. Because I found it real funny that moon sometimes looked like it be trying to search me out too. But I just pulled the curtains down on it because it just kind of forms in different shapes. It won't let me see that black man in the moon no more. Won't let me see that because I only saw that once. But that sun comes and find me. But when I look into it, it's a pulsating eye. It just be doing that. It's like an eye. I think that's all I have to say, good people. Oh, no, it's not. I'm just gonna read the list. Many things lower your vibration: junk food, processed food, stress, anxiety, toxic product, like cosmetics, cleaning stuff, pollution, prolonged exposure to electronic phones, computers, TV, holding on to anger, guilt, resentment, negative self talk, not feeling good about yourself, gossiping about others, wanting more rather than being grateful for what you have, living in the past, constantly living in the past about all the hurt and pain, the childhood pain and stuff that you receive. We have to get past all that stuff. Worrying about the future, what the future is going to be like, drinking alcohol and drugs, all that stuff we have to deal with within ourselves. Are you saying that Jesus didn't accept what he saw, and that is what the crown of thorns was? First of all, there was no man named Jesus. It's a metaphor. And what I'm saying, whoever wrote, I know that the Bible was written by the Masons. Okay. So they wrote the Bible in a metaphor. And what I'm saying, Jesus, this figure, this Jesus person, rejected the truth. And so he said, when he rejected the truth, he received the thorn. Remember, he said, Father, why have you forsaken me? Or some Sabalachi, yeah, something like that. That was said in the Bible. Because what happens is when you take on the crown of thorn, you are actually saying you don't care about the truth. Because that's the only time. You notice when we were going through, and I really can't really talk about it because they don't want us to talk. I can't do that. A lot of stuff I want to say, I can't say it. I don't want to talk about it. But the crown of thorn is, yes, that's what it is. It's the rejecting the truth. Is what you when you get the crown of thorn, you're rejecting the truth. Yes, that's what it is. And keep in mind that each person represent. Raquel, I wish you had seen those old videos that I had, because I did a lot of what each person is, rather than a person that they meant a word. It was just a word, and it was an action word. Yeah, you know what? That's what. Why don't you just hit me up in my email? We can do that. since you're really into it like that, we can do that because I can't speak like that, especially about Corona. I can say this. That's what that means. That's as far as I can go. You know, we don't want to. We did. I'm out of here. I'm just tired of being here myself. It's okay if you miss. You know, you got us on here that will tell you, share with you with what we know. You know, and then because we don't mind. That's why we're here. Hey Jesse, I ain't seen you in a hot minute. 369. How you been doing, Jesse? Yeah, we'll move to another subject. I think that's okay. I have wrote this as I don't know. I don't want your video to be taken down. Yeah. Oh, you know, right? Started working a new job. Oh, well, I'm glad you got a new job, Mr. Jesse. Okay. I made this little note to myself. People who are spiritually minded tend to suffer from anxieties and depression more. You know why? Because their eyes are open to a world that is in need of repair. They literally have an increased ability to feel the emotions of people around them. See, I can feel people energy. I have become the more my eyes was open, the more energy I feel from people. And people could be talking things out their mouth, but I could feel their energy, and the energy be saying something different. And sometimes I can't stay around them uh, for a very long time. I literally have to go in and take me another bath because that stuff that I told you helps. It helps because you're moving that dark. It's dark energy, is what it is. But the people that are around you, they seem to be cool people and nice people. They don't. I don't think they know that they have that type of energy on themselves, but it affects you. You know, and you want to be around them, but you can't because you don't like that energy. You know, and so the only way I know to get rid of that energy, well, two reasons, two ways. Either don't be around that person no more, or you be around that person and you do a spiritual bath. But see, I take spiritual baths every day. You know, some people tell you take them once a week, once a month. With the energy that's out there today, you have to take them things every day if you want some peace and rest. Because I have found that every person that I know could see what's going on in this earth. They're suffering from depression, some of them, and they're suffering from anxieties. You know, because they're seeing that, and money is a hard thing for some of them. Uh, but if you're out there loving this world, uh, those people ain't having no problems. You got to understand that they don't want people that they have already. They don't come messing with them. They only mess with the people that they don't have. Those are the people that they mess with. You know, that's just like a dog. If the dog ain't gonna come after somebody that likes it, it's gonna come after the one that does not like it. That's what that's what happens. And that's any of us. I just use the dog as an example because dogs bark at people that they feel a different energy with. Because if that energy ain't the same as their owner, and if you don't like a dog, that dog gonna feel that you don't like it, and it's gonna bark at you. And if it feels that it likes you, it's gonna come and lick you. It just depends. Well, it's the same way with anything. But they would say the people that I give you another for instance. Let's look at the Good Samaritan in the Bible. I know y'all heard of that one. You got the priest, you got the Levite, and you got the Samaritan man, the Good Samaritan. You got the priest, and that was a wounded person. Wounded could have been anything. Person wounded, the priest walked by, keep on going. The Levite walked by. I call him the helper of the priest. He keep on going. And then comes the Samaritan man. The one ain't got too much of shit. Comes over to help the person that's in need and try to help them as much as they can. And they go on their way. And so if the priest and the priest helper was out there helping people in all states, there wouldn't be no homeless people. It wouldn't be no homeless people at all. I don't know what kind of Bible they're reading. They can't be reading it metaphorically either, because if they were reading it metaphorically, they'll know to do the right thing. And they're not even reading it literally. They're making up other parables. Hey, JT, how you doing? Well, I call another happy Saturday to everyone. Hope all is well. Well, welcome, Mr. JT. You did, because I was about to leave. How you doing, JT? But it just, the only people that's gonna look at you crazy are the ones that ain't paying attention to their surroundings, because all they focus on is what's going on with them. They don't care about nobody else. They just focus on what's going on with them. What state are you in, JT? Yeah, yeah, Raquel. I think that if you do an email, I think we can finish talking if you want to. You got time? You got some time now? 113 degrees the other day. Oh, goodness. That's hot. Yeah, that is hot. I guess I don't get caught up with the heat like that because my body is always hot. Um, I used to sweat a lot. I don't sweat as much anymore, but I don't get caught up with the heat too much. I just take it as it comes. Well, good seeing you, JT. I enjoyed you people. Um, but Raquel, you can hit me up in email. Take care, people. Oh, you had the menopause out flashes. Okay.